Season 8 of The Chi is not holding back, and the street's about to get flipped upside down. Power is shifting, enemies are closing in, and secrets we thought were buried are about to come out. So if you think you're ready for all the chaos, the payback, and the shocking twists, let's break down how Season 8 is shaping up. Season 8 is Tiff's season, no doubt. After Alicia got taken out in that brutal setup, all signs point to Tiff stepping into a role nobody thought she'd ever grab. With Alicia gone, that money and that deal they made didn't just disappear, it landed in Tiff's lap. And if you know anything about Tiff, she don't sit still. She's about to flip that shroom hustle into a full-blown empire, something way bigger than just side cash. The crazy part? This ain't just about the money. This is personal. Tiff lost too much. Her man, her baby's father, and then the one woman who always had her back. When she finds out it was Nuck behind it all, that's when things turn real. Season 8 is setting up a Tiff versus Nuck showdown, and trust me, that's a storm he not ready for. She might play it smart and send somebody else to handle him, or she might pull that trigger herself. Either way, Nuck's got his days numbered, but here's the wild part. Nuck ain't just worried about Tiff. He got enemies lining up from every side. Tiff is the face of the new hustle, but Nuck is standing in the middle of a battlefield, and all his enemies got weapons pointed right at him. And y'all know when too many people want you gone, it ain't about if, it's about when. Tiff, on the other hand, is finally playing chess instead of checkers. She's been through hell, but every loss just sharpened her game. She knows the streets, she knows who to trust, and she knows how to move silent. She's got that pain, that motivation, and now she got the money. That's the perfect mix to take over, and that's why Season 8 is going to crown her in a way fans never saw coming. But let's keep it real, power never comes without enemies. While Tiff is on the rise, she got targets on her back too. Nuck ain't the type to go down quiet. He might try to flip the game on her, find her weak spot, and hit her where it hurts. And if he don't, there's always somebody in Chicago ready to betray when the money starts flowing. The question is, can Tiff keep that crown on her head without it slipping off too fast? Season 8, about to show us just how far she's willing to go. If there's one person walking into Season 8 with a bullseye on his back, it's Nuck. And the wild part is, he don't even know how close he is to falling. He might think he's still holding the streets down, but the truth is, his power been slipping since Alicia's death. Everybody watching him, everybody questioning him, and everybody waiting for that one mistake to take him out. The first person on his neck? Roslyn. Let's not forget, she already got blood on her hands after Alicia, and her story with Nuck ain't done. If you think she's going to just walk away, you're tripping. Roslyn plays the long game. She ain't going to hit him tomorrow, but when she pops back up, it's going to be the type of move Nuck never sees coming. She don't bluff. When she knocks on his door again, it's lights out, and he won't even have time to spin a lie. But Roslyn ain't the only problem. Reg is back in the picture, and y'all know he'd been waiting on that 63rd Street mob throne since day one. The moment he touched down, he made it clear. He's not here to play. And with Alicia gone, the streets are looking at him like the next one to take control. That puts Nuck in the worst spot possible. Cornered between Tiff building her empire, Roslyn hunting for revenge, and Reg climbing fast. That's 3 different angles closing in on him at the same time. And let's not sleep on Jackie, the shooter. Just because she didn't pull the trigger in the finale doesn't mean she's out the game. Reg might still got her in his pocket, waiting for the right time. Or maybe he already cut her loose, thinking she was leaking info. Either way, if Jackie comes back into play, Nuck's chances drop even lower. She's the type who don't need a reason, just an opportunity. Now here's where things get even messier. Nuck not only fighting enemies on the street, he's fighting the law too. Remember how shady he moved after finding Alicia's body? He didn't call nobody, didn't try to help, just dipped out quiet. That's already looking suspicious, and Tiff could flip that into evidence real quick. And once Detective Toussaint jumps on the case, y'all know it's a wrap. She'd been trying to nail Reg for years, but Alicia's last words before she died were all about killing Nuck. That makes him target number 1. So while Nuck's busy looking over his shoulder for shooters, he might get caught slipping by the police instead. Jail for him is basically the same as a death sentence, because the second he's off the streets, his enemies start dividing everything he built. The wall's closing in fast, and for the first time, Nuck ain't in control. He's not running the game anymore. The game is running him. And that's why Season 8 feels different. The balance of power is shifting, and Nuck is hanging by a thread. The streets don't forgive weakness, and right now, every single person he crossed is circling like sharks. If Season 8 is giving us anything, it's the return of Reg at full force. Ever since he came back, Reg been moving like he never left. Hungry, ruthless, and ready to snatch that throne. He don't even gotta say much. The streets already feel his energy. And with Nuck slipping, everybody looking at Reg as the one who can take the 63rd Street mob back to the top. But the crazy part? The same spotlight that's hyping him up might also be the light that gets him caught. Because you know who's watching. Detective Toussaint. She'd been chasing Reg since Season 2, and this time she got more ammo than ever. Alicia's death was messy, and Toussaint not about to let that case slide. The robbery at Alicia's house, Candace suddenly rocking her clothes, Reg back on the streets when he's supposed to be gone. It's all stacking up. Toussaint don't even need the full story. All she needs is enough to put the cuffs on, and Reg already gave her plenty of reasons. But here's the twist. Reg ain't dumb. He knows Toussaint got eyes on him, so he's going to play smarter than before. He's not pulling the reckless moves we saw in the past. This time, every step is calculated. And with Jackie possibly still lurking around, Reg got that muscle if he needs it. If Toussaint tries to box him in, he might just flip the whole game on her, forcing her to chase shadows while he climbs higher. Then there's Candace. She might not be pulling the strings, but her choices are adding fuel to the fire. The fact she out here flaunting Alicia's bags and outfits like trophies, that's the type of thing Toussaint notices quick. It's sloppy. It connects her straight to that robbery, and once Toussaint connects Candace to Reg, it's game over. They both on the hook, whether they pulled the trigger or not. And with Reg already standing on shaky ground, Candace might be the piece that drags him down. But remember, Toussaint's main obsession is still Nuck. She wants proof, and if Tiff gives her even a piece of evidence, that could lock him up fast. So Reg might get a lucky break, Toussaint splitting her focus between him and Nuck. Still, Reg ain't safe. Every move he makes is being tracked, and one mistake could land him right back behind bars. Here's where it gets wild. Reg and Nuck are enemies, but they got the same problem. They both sitting on top of too much heat, too many enemies, and too much attention from the law. That means Season 8 is going to be a race. Who falls first? Nuck with his lies catching up, or Reg with Toussaint finally catching him in the act? One of them going down, and the other one might just rise higher than we ever thought. Now let's talk about one of the biggest twists Season 8 is setting up. Victor stepping back into his old self as Trig. In that last stretch of Season 7, he and Shad got caught up in the Alicia mess and ended up arrested. But let's be real, they not staying locked up long. The evidence don't hold, and once Tiff speaks up about what really went down, Victor and Shad walking free. That's just the beginning though, because freedom ain't all Victor getting back. He's about to get his edge back too. We all know Victor tried to play it clean, changing his name, running for office, talking about saving Chicago the legal way. But when it comes to the people he loves, that old Trig energy always comes out. And Season 8 is about to drag him back into the dirt, whether he wants it or not. The bond between him and Tiff been solid for years. He's been her protector, her supporter, even delivered her baby. So when Tiff decides she's coming for Nuck, guess who she's calling first? Victor. And when she does, we're not getting polished Victor. We're getting Trig, the man who moves silent, strikes hard, and don't let enemies breathe. That's dangerous news for Nuck, because if Trig decides to make a move, it's over. Nuck got no real backup anymore, and Trig's been in this game long enough to know how to slide in and take somebody out without leaving fingerprints. This partnership between Tiff and Trig could be the deadliest one of the whole season, because they both fueled by pain, loyalty, and revenge. And together, they unstoppable. But here's where the streets get even messier. Trig's not just lining up against Nuck. He's also standing right in Reg's path. Reg might think the throne is his for the taking, but Trig has never been scared to check his own brother when it comes to protecting Jake and keeping Chicago from falling apart. Let's not forget, Trig already told Reg before that Emmett is more of a brother than him. That still burns deep. So when Reg starts climbing again, Trig's going to feel like he has no choice but to push back. That's what makes Season 8 so wild. We might see brother versus brother, not in a shootout, but in a power struggle where both think they right. Reg trying to rule the streets, Trig trying to clean them up while still keeping it gangster when he needs to. It's family against family, and neither one is about to back down. One wrong move, and it could destroy everything they've both been fighting for. This is why Victor turning back into Trig is so important. He's not just fighting for Tiff or Jake, he's fighting to prove that he can balance both worlds, the streets and the politics. But history shows us, in the Chi, you can't sit in two chairs forever. Sooner or later, he's going to have to choose. Play it clean as Victor, or get his hands dirty as Trig. And whichever side he picks, somebody he loves is going to end up on the other side of the line. While all the street battles and revenge moves are shaking up the city, Season 8 ain't just about who's holding the gun, it's about who's holding the future. And that's where Emmett and Keisha step in. They just lost their mom, and that pain is heavy. But instead of breaking them, it's pushing them into a new chapter. Emmett already made it clear he's not leaving Chicago. He knows if he dips, the streets just get worse. And Keisha, she's carrying her mom's vision with her. That idea of building something real for the kids, something that keeps them safe before the streets can swallow them. That's why Season 8 is setting up Emmett and Keisha to create their own version of rock. The center Tracy once started, the spot that Victor been holding down. Only this time, it's not about politics or survival, it's about giving the next generation a chance. Keisha got Jada's money to start the homeschooling idea, and with Emmett backing her, that dream is about to turn real. Don't get it twisted though, this ain't some side storyline. This center could end up being the new heart of the Chi. Think about it. While Tiff and Trig are out hunting revenge and Reg and Nuck are battling for control, Emmett and Keisha are building something that could change the whole game. If the streets got a place to turn, that puts Emmett and Keisha in a different kind of power position. They not hustling, they not killing, but they holding influence in a way nobody else can touch. And that might make them bigger targets than they realize. Because y'all already know, in Chicago, when somebody tries to build hope, the streets always try to tear it down. Emmett been shot before, and that changed him. He sees life different now. That means he's not going to let anybody threaten Keisha or that center without a fight. And Keisha, she's tougher than ever. She's lost, she's survived, and now she's determined to protect what her mom left behind. Together, they're stronger than we've ever seen them. But here's the twist. While the center is meant to save the city, it could also pull everybody back into the same war. OGs might show up to protect it, Tiff might use it as a safe spot, Trig might see it as a way to balance the streets, and Reg might even try to exploit it for his own gain. What started as a dream for the kids could turn into the next battlefield, where loyalty, family, and survival all collide. So as Season 8 moves forward, we're looking at 3 different paths. Tiff rising as the queen of the streets, Nuck falling with enemies and cops closing in, and Emmett and Keisha fighting to build something that might outlast them all. And in the middle of it, Reg and Trig caught in a brother's war, with Toussaint circling to lock them both. It's chaos, it's betrayal, it's revenge, and it's power shifting in ways nobody saw coming. Season 8 ain't just another season, it's the reset button. The players are changing, the board is flipping, and by the time the dust settles, Chicago won't ever be the same again. So now the question is, who's going to survive the storm? Who's going to rise from the ashes? And who's about to get buried in the city they swore they controlled? When the streets are drowning in blood and revenge, somebody always has to stand up and try to hold the neighborhood together. That's where Emmett and Keisha step in for Season 8. They just lost their mom, they're still healing from trauma, and yet they're refusing to leave Chicago behind. Emmett made it clear. He's not running. He told Jada if he leaves, it only gets worse, and that right there shows us what his mission is going forward. Emmett is finally stepping into the role of a man who carries the weight of his city, not just his family. Now add Keisha to the mix. She's been fighting for a new path ever since her own dark chapter, and with Jada leaving her money for the homeschooling project, she's not going to waste a second. Season 8 is about to show us Keisha giving everything she has to building that school, creating a safe space, and protecting the next generation from the same cycles that keep dragging people like Reg and Nuck back into the dirt. That's her vision, and she's not letting it go. But the real twist is when Emmett and Keisha combine their goals. They're not just surviving anymore, They're building. Emmett already has the heart for the community. Keisha has the plan. Together, they're about to open something that mirrors what Tracy started with rock. But this new center is bigger, louder, and more personal. It's not just a shelter or a safe space. It's a war cry. It's their way of saying, we ain't giving our city away to gangs, hustlers, or corrupt politicians. We're taking it back. That's powerful, but it's also dangerous. Because the second Emmett and Keisha put that center on the map, they put themselves in the line of fire. The streets don't let you create hope without testing it. Reg might see it as a threat to his hustle. Nuck might try to burn it down just to hurt Tiff, Emmett, and Keisha all at once. Even the cops might see it as a place to spy, to corner suspects, to keep pressure on the wrong people. And yet, that's exactly why their story matters. Because they're risking everything to build something real. Now, let's talk about Emmett on a personal level. Last season nearly broke him. Getting shot by Reg wasn't just a wake-up call, it was a straight-up rebirth. He's not the same hustler kid chasing fast money and girls. He's scarred, cautious, and thinking about legacy. That bullet made him realize he could have been gone in a second, leaving his kids without a father and Keisha without a partner. Season 8 is showing us a new Emmett, a man finally choosing his purpose. And that purpose is going to clash head-on with the chaos that Tiff, Nuck, and Reg are dragging across Chicago. Don't sleep on Keisha either. She's been Emmett's rock, but she's also got her own fire. She's tired of watching the people she loves get swallowed up by the streets. She's tired of funerals, tired of trauma, tired of the same cycles playing out generation after generation. So when she gets that school running, best believe she's not just teaching kids, she's protecting them. And that means she's willing to stand toe-to-toe with anybody, whether it's a gang member, a cop, or even someone in her own circle, if they threaten what she's building. Here's the part that's going to hit hard. Emmett and Keisha's fight for hope is not just about the kids. It's about clashing directly with the power players of the season. On one side, you got Tiff and Trig ready to take out Nuck and control the streets their way. On the other side, you got Reg chasing that throne and Toussaint chasing them all. And right in the middle of it, Emmett and Keisha trying to carve out peace. That makes their center the ultimate battlefield. It's where all the storylines might collide. Picture this. While Nuck's running scared, Reg is making moves, and Tiff is plotting revenge, Emmett and Keisha are throwing a block party to launch their center. That's not just a celebration, it's a target. That's where enemies might show up, where cops might try to make a scene, where old grudges might explode. And if that happens, the people Emmett and Keisha are trying to protect are going to be right in the crossfire. That's the kind of tension Season 8 is building toward. Hope versus chaos, love versus revenge, building versus destroying. Now, let's not forget the OGs. Tracy, Jada's memory, and even Victor in his Trig form are all tied into this. Tracy already laid the foundation with Rock, but she knows it takes more than one safe spot to change a city. She might show up to back Keisha, guiding her, protecting her, maybe even running things while Emmett and Keisha deal with their personal battles. Jada may be gone, but her spirit lives on through Keisha's school and the choices Emmett makes. That money wasn't just a gift, it was a responsibility. Every brick they lay is carrying Jada's name. And Victor, if he's sliding back into Trig mode, he's not just helping Tiff. He's watching over Emmett and Keisha too. He knows the importance of having a place like that center because he tried to be the bridge himself. The difference is, Emmett and Keisha don't have one foot in the streets like he does. They're all in on building. That might inspire Trig to protect them at all costs, even if it means standing against Reg or going to war with Nuck before Tiff even gets her revenge. Season 8 is about revenge, power, and survival. But at the core, it's about what Chicago really is. Families, love, and the fight to build something worth saving. Emmett and Keisha represent the future. Tiff and Trig represent the pain of the past pushing forward. Reg represents the streets refusing to die. And Nuck, he's the ghost of everything that needs to be buried if anybody wants to move on. So the real question is, who's going to make it to the end? Will Emmett and Keisha's center stand as a beacon of hope, or will it burn under the weight of